back to the From Scratch podcast. This is episode 3. We are so happy that you're here to join us. I am Sarah Burris.
And I'm Bree. And this is Halle from Black Gold Meats, and she's joining us today as our guest. So, Halle, let's just dive right in. Why did you venture out on this small business journey? What was your very start?
So I grew up on a small family farm my whole entire life. We predominantly raised Angus Simmental influenced cattle, and my parents always sold freezer beef by the halves and wholes my whole entire life, and it was just something that I was always around my whole entire life. And then I got to college and visited some local farmers markets around the area, and I was like, man, I could do something like this. And I dove off the deep end and went straight for it, and here I am. And now we ventured into having beef, pork, and chicken. So
nice. So you originally were just doing the beef, is that right?
Yeah, we had some hogs growing up, but nothing to really amount to too much. Me and my sister showed cattle and hogs through the 4-H program my whole entire life. So more on the show end of things with the hogs, and yeah.
So one difference would be like from how the way your parents did it would be like your parents would just say, we have a half for sale, and then that person would be able to kind of pick and choose their cuts from that half. But what you were talking about doing was actually taking the animal and breaking it all the way down into those cuts with no guaranteed buyer, and then trying to sell those. So the difference being your parents had a guaranteed buyer, you didn't have a guaranteed buyer, but you're like, I can sell this, I can do this.
Yep.
So you, how did you originally then start out with those animals that you brought to the market, like for the very first time?
Yeah, so my parents have a feedlot, and my parents afforded me the opportunity that they'd kind of help me get started. So they took a risk on what my crazy idea was, and we went from there. So like I said, I essentially bought the cattle originally from my dad, and I created the cut sheet, and what products I thought I could sell, things along those lines. And then once I got that, all those products picked up from the processor, I go to farmers markets like From Scratch Co-op and offer anything from ground beef to roast to steaks, and then all the pork items, boneless chops, sausage, bacon, the chickens, whole chickens to chicken tenders or ground chicken.
Nice.
So your parents did what you would call a custom beef. They had a custom beef, right? They didn't do, you started with the hogs and the chickens, right? Okay.
Yeah, my parents sold some hogs, but not to the magnitude that I have now.
Okay. But you still do that you do your cut and wraps, which is your retail. Those individual, they can buy, a pound of ground beef, a pound of chicken, a pound of sausage, or what we call it cut and wrap retail.
Yeah.
And then they could also do custom halves and wholes with some of your products too, right?
Correct.
So you have taken 2 business models and blended them into one.
Yep. So I also offer halves and wholes of beef and quarters of beef, and then the hogs I do wholes and halves as well. So customers who are interested in that can make their own cut sheet and choose what they want.
Yeah, so basically they would get to choose whatever steaks they wanted. If some people just want it all in ground, or some people want all steaks and roast. So it's really nice that people have a lot of preferences for what they want and what they eat. Absolutely. To go ahead and go with that route. But if somebody's looking more for like dinner ready items, then they would want to shop the market or your retail ready cuts.
Yep. Yeah, but a lot of people don't have the magnitude to have a whole or half or quarter of a beef.
Plus,
or
that's a big investment.
Exactly.
It is an investment.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the market retail end of things offers a smaller magnitude at a time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what is what keeps driving you to do this year after year and keep growing and keep pushing yourself? What's your why?
So my why originally was I came to college and I don't want to say I lost connection to the agricultural industry, but I moved away. I was living in a townhouse in college, and I was just really starving for the agricultural community-esque of things. And So this was kind of an avenue to reconnect, because my whole entire life I grew up on the farm showing, and I started to value the older that I got also, like what my parents did for me and my sister. I mean, my parents, that was part of our living growing up. And I really started to appreciate that a little bit more, and really dove into appreciate also what I put into my body. And I want to prioritize what other people are putting into their body. And that's something that I strive myself on. Our products are all natural, no antibiotics or hormones. So that's kind of my business model, and that's my why.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I mean, the fact that you guys have so many high quality items for me is truly impressive. I mean, like, when I tell you, like I said in the first episode, I used to work in the bacon facility. My husband worked in the bacon industry. Like, this is better than any bacon you can get anywhere in any store, hands down.
Absolutely.
And so once people try it, I think they're hooked, right? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you're instantly. And just the rest of it too. I mean, across the board. I mean, right now in my Instant Pot at home is stew meat from you. My boys love that. I've had the chicken, the ground chicken, the pork chops, the sausage. I mean, we've had it all, and it's all phenomenal. I mean, truly. So
I think what a lot of people miss when, or maybe they don't miss it, they just don't know.
Yeah.
When they come to the market is they love seeing, one, the person that is raising these animals behind it. Like, you are out, you're putting hay down when it's cold outside. You're weaning the calves. You are growing chicks, and you're growing out your hogs. It's not just, oh, I went and picked these up from somebody else who raised them, and I took them to the butcher, and now I'm going to sell these. Because people can do that. And a lot of times people do that, and they say, yeah, they're from us, but they didn't have their hands in it. Now, sometimes people will buy weanlings or things like that, and you do truly grow those out too. Yeah. But not only is it the actual animal themselves that you are investing in, but it's the nutrition side of things, because you can make any animal taste any way you want it to taste. You can make it as fatty as you want. You can make it as lean as that animal possibly can be. And I think that if you have two, let's say hogs, I don't know if it's from the same, is it called a litter?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have two hogs from the same litter, and one goes to this family who's farming and one goes to this family who's farming, same genetics, right?
Yep.
Different nutrition programs, that makes a lot of a difference. And I don't think people sometimes take into consideration how much science and work that is. Like, it's not just raising these animals and buying feed for these animals. It's what you put in them, you're going to get out of them.
And that's something that I really have to give credit to my dad, especially for doing. I mean, my parents have been in this business like 15 to 20 years now. Sure. So my dad really has that down to science, and I've taken over what he's created, and that's for sure. I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on, the all-natural, no antibiotics or hormones, and it's what we put into them, truthfully. And something that maybe both of you don't know, we actually, my parents, for 15 to 20 years, our cattle, actually, we do not calve them. We actually have, I'm from northeastern Ohio originally, and my parents have bought from a local farm in Cumberland for the past 15 years. So the same breeder for my whole entire life, but we buy the calves weaned, and then we feed out with our nutrition program.
Yeah, and that is exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Like, even if you buy weanlings, you are putting exactly what you want into them so that you get the best quality product out of them. And I do think that when someone really has a heart for buying local, that they're asking those questions, because if they don't, they're going to, come up against somebody else who maybe doesn't have those same values that you do. And it truly is right from your hands. And I just think people miss that sometimes, because they see the end product and they ask, is it grass-fed? Is it grain-fed? Are these your animals? And all those things. But I don't think the puzzle pieces truly click. And that's where you get the quality. People can get quantity everywhere. But you're really going after quality. And I think that's what's really important about your program.
For sure.
Yeah, and when you're talking about that, like, human-to-human connection, like, when you think about when you go to the grocery store, or I've been getting Walmart deliveries, you know, there's no like interaction.
Right.
So it's like you're not even, it's like you're getting something from that person when you're like, how's your day? Here's this meat. And you're like actually exchanging.
You take a piece of them with you.
Hands. Yeah. It's like different than just running in the store and grabbing it. Oh, I'm just going to grab this, check out and go. I'm going to go home and eat it with no thought of where it came from, how it was raised, who you bought it from. And I think as you like come to the market and people see you every week and they tell you, oh my God, that bacon was amazing. Oh my God, those pork chops were amazing. Like that's just like the best compliment ever when somebody comes back and tells you that something that you made or that you raised was tasted amazing.
Yeah.
So
I think that's one of my biggest like things that keeps me going is my customers now. Now that I have an established base and I'm meeting new people all the time, like whenever I go to make a delivery and I get to have a conversation with one of my customers, it's fulfilling. Yeah. I know that I'm serving the community. Like it just makes you feel good that somebody appreciates something that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and you've worked hard for.
Yeah.
You know, and I think people value that, and it's different than just getting something from a shelf where you don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
For sure.
Yeah. And so when we rewind to last year, when we started the co-op, we opened it up to anybody who wanted to join, but there was a few people who got invitations from us that we thought might be interested. So I thought that you seemed a little apprehensive at first when we asked you to join the co-op, but do you want to tell us kind of how you felt? Or
Yeah, so Bree and I met because I think that I reached out to you saying, like, I have these products. Could you use them in your fit meal prep company?
Yep.
And that's how we made the connection. And truthfully, I was not apprehensive because I was scared of what you guys were creating. I was more apprehensive because I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I also go to another farmer's market on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And I had an established client base, and it was, at the time, I was like, I'm going to have to pick between one or the other. Like,
Gotcha.
how
could you pick?
How could I do that? Right. But I fortunately have a lot of people that support me, and especially my parents and my sister. Everybody knows them who knows me. We swap markets, and they see their face. My customers see their faces as often as they see mine. So they really make the market weekends possible, and also behind the scenes. I mean, Dad's dropping off the cattle and making sure that my cut sheet's in. He's calling me, did you get your cut sheet in? And
you need those people in your corner, though. I mean, Dad is always going to need a dad.
And Mom's always like, what can we put on the table this week? Or what deals can we run this week? And my sister's just up for anything. I mean, she used to live like 3.5 hours away, and if I needed her to come work a market a weekend, she'd drive up here for the weekend. So they for sure take a lot of sacrifices for me, and I couldn't do everything that I do without them, for sure.
Yeah.
It truly is a family thing.
Yeah. And this goes back, I think, a little bit to our conversation that we had with Tiffany on the last episode about doing it all. Because I know that is hard for you too, is to let go some of those other responsibilities, because you do wish that you could split yourself in two and be there for all your customers at the same time, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And letting someone else take that step for you to be like, to come in and be like, okay, my customers can trust this person. My customers, your parents and your sister. So that made it a little bit of an easier transition for you. But it is hard to kind of, even though your parents have their hands in it, they didn't really have their hands in this part of it. Yeah. So I totally understand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll be at a market, the different market on a Saturday, and people will be like, where's Halle? Or we missed you last week. Or I'm like, I can't believe 2 places at one time. But I try to split it up as much as possible. And it's also very important to me that I get to see those people's faces frequently as well.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you were able to make it work and that you were able to join us, because I mean, you have just became everybody's favorite vendor, I think.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. It is.
Yeah.
Because literally you can just go to one person and get,
everything.
Beef, chicken, and pork.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 meals. Well, I'm working on pork chops, right? So for dinner purposes, those are the 3 that everyone usually rotates around. And you go to one place for them. And I think that is just, it's extra work. I know. And it's extra risk and it's more freezers and there's a lot that goes with it, but it's just for a shopper, it's their dream.
So convenient. So convenient. Yeah, so convenient.
I do have to ask before we move on to our kind of next category of questions. Black Gold, what is the name? Because that is not, your last name is not Black Gold.
No. It's not.
So I would love to know the story behind
No.
your name.
So I guess our farm growing up, Morehead family farm, last name in it. But this is kind of like my thing, I guess you would say. And I grew up a Steelers fan.
Oh, okay.
So some people may or may not like that, but that's where the Black Gold comes from. But also it kind of ties into the cattle end of things, Black Angus cattle influence. So that's the correlation. But
It's a great name.
Yeah.
And it's different than, like you said, it's not just Morehead Family Farms. There is a lot of family farms. Like we're Burris Cattle, that's our last name. That's cool. They get it.
Yeah.
But like, they can ask that question and then you can, explain
Correct.
yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I think it's catchy.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So how have you seen your business grow? So over the last year, but also from when you first started. Obviously, you added in the other species, but what are some other ways that you've seen your business grow over the last year?
for sure, within the past year, From Scratch Co-op has really taken to another level. I mean, I'm in a farmer's market in Zanesville. I had the clientele over here. I was itching and finding some different ways to venture out of the area or in the surrounding areas a little bit more. And From Scratch Co-op really took me to the next level. But also the collaborations and people that you meet through the markets, just word of mouth. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest ways I've really seen is just word of mouth, and the amount of people that I've been able to put myself in front of it through the co-op has really been great.
That's great.
I remember 2023. That was your first market, right?
Yes.
Because that's when we started in markets too. And I remember you came and you walked over. I don't even know. We must have missed a weekend or something. Anyways, you came over, introduced yourself, and it was a small market. It was not a big market, and there were 3 meat vendors there at a very small market, and we made it work.
Yeah.
But she came over and she was, just talking and just happy to be there. And you asked, I don't even remember how we got on this topic, but you asked about retail. Like if my husband and I had a retail, and I was like, no, that is not something I want to grow into. My husband works for Dickinson Cattle. Like they do that and they're good at it, and we'll just let them do it. But I know even in 2023, at her very first market, she was like, okay, this is where I am here. This is where I want to go. And I thought that was so cool. First of all, I did not know you were in college. I was like, where's this girl from? Where has she been? I know a lot of the ranchers in this area just from being a part of different organizations, but I was truly impressed. And seeing, I know we're at a farmer's market, so setup wise, seeing your setup then, seeing your social media then, seeing your website then, and seeing it now is huge. Like you went for it, and it's a lot of work, and I know it's a lot of work, and there's sacrifices and risks that have to be made. Sure. But in terms of growth, like from the outside looking in, it's insane. Yeah, you've done a great job, and so I can only see you going and going and going.
Yeah, truly.
If you get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep giving you your flowers too, because I've truly been impressed with you from day one since you even reached out. And by the way, that's how I met Sarah too. She just kind of reached out, but
someone I can't say that I did it on my own. Someone recommended that I did, and I wouldn't have done it. I was afraid of Bree. Bree intimidated me. And now we're good. But I wasn't you went for it.
Yeah, so she just messaged me out of the blue, and she's like, hey, I have these products. You think you could use them? And I was like, I'll figure it out. So that was the introduction of the sausage, egg, and cheese bowl that's been on my menu for literally 3 years probably now. And so you're just so ambitious, and you push yourself, and to see somebody that's so self-motivated is rare.
It is.
And the fact that you want to grow yourself is it's just amazing, and you should be so proud of yourself, truly.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. And going back to what Sarah said, like my website and Facebook and my farmers market setup, like I've only learned from the people that I've surrounded myself
Sure.
at the market too. So I think that's the biggest thing is like, especially at the from scratch co-op market, like, I mean, we bounce ideas off each other. We look at each other's websites. We look at how people are running promotions. Like that's something that's really big is I've spent a lot of time myself, like what more can I do, whatever, but just looking from the outside in at the way other people approach their small business and how they run things is, I guess, how I've tried to take small steps forward and be better.
Yeah,
So.
and I mean, you have to. If you want to grow your business, you have to. And that's the kind of thing, too, that I don't think that you really understand until you're actually doing it, is that, like, you work really hard and then you, like, get this level of maybe success and then you just think it's going to stay there. But no,
Right.
you have to keep working really hard. And
You do.
you got to keep working really hard. But if
Yeah.
you want to stay at that same level and you want to just stay where you're at and not grow, then you don't have to. But if you want, you have to put the effort in. You have to think outside the box. You have to look at what other people are and aren't doing, what's working for them, what's not. And I think for me too, having other people to bounce ideas off of is awesome.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, that worked for me, or no, that hasn't really worked for me. And speaking of ideas, I called Halle at 1:00 today and I was like, hey, I have a really crazy idea. You want to do it? You can tell me no if you,
You
want.
probably said yes. I said,
she goes, and I was like, it'll be okay. But it worked out. And, you know, you have to do crazy ideas sometimes and you have to say yes sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. But, you know, I think we could have said that about the co-op. What if nobody joins?
I remember
What
you
if
saying
nobody
that.
comes?
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said, what did you say? If we build it, people will come.
Yeah.
You just have to build it.
Yeah, you do.
It takes an amount, of risk and just being humble.
Yeah.
That's a big piece of it, is just be humble and just go for it. You have a sign on one of your fridges in your office, and I'm not going to quote this right, but maybe you can. Do you know what the sign on your fridge says?
Help others achieve their dreams and yours will come true too.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I feel like the co-op is. Because, and maybe Tiffany said this on our last episode, but she said we complement each other. We don't compete with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
That is very
Like it's just an area of completion instead of competition. And you don't find that in a lot of places, actually.
No, you
I
do
haven't
not.
found it in any place but our co-op.
Me neither.
So
Me either. Well, I
Proof in
really
the
just have
pudding.
to give it out to you guys because the opportunities that you've afforded the co-op have really expanded my horizons, I know, and I know a lot of other people feel that same way. And I mean, Bree thinks all the time, what can you do, Halle? Or how can you, we were talking the other day, like, how can we make my website work that I don't have to do the form? And like, it just, whenever you have people in your corner that really support you and help you, I mean, that's another thing that really keeps me going is, this is why. I've met both of you. I've met a whole bunch of other great people that I know support me alongside all my great customers. But I'm always striving to do more, and I know that you guys are in my corner and always trying to help me achieve more. So
Definitely. Yeah, we're here to support you for sure.
So that was kind of a wrap up of last season. Now it's a new year. What does this year look like for you? Are you where are you going to be? Are you going to try anything different with your business as it continues to grow?
yeah, I think for sure it's going to look very similar to what it was last year. Going to 2 separate farmers markets, the Zanesville Farmers Market and then From Scratch Co-op, hopefully every Saturday. And just trying to expand really my outside market attraction. This winter, I've been more successful this winter than I was last winter at arranging pickup and deliveries. Down at Bree's shop has been very helpful. Just having consistent times for people.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That is the key.
And I have to give it credit to Bree because she's the one that told me that. She's like, you need to have a place and a time that's consistent, and you just got to roll with it. And that's what I've done, and it's been really successful. And the goal eventually, I mean, as life moves on, sustaining 2 farmers markets might not be feasible. So I always will support the farmers market, and I love the community that we created, but my goal is to find something that's a little bit more sustainable with a full-time job and doing this.
Understandable. Yeah.
Well, you got to start
understandable.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you've built up your client space. You know, people know who you are. They know how to contact you, especially in the off season. As long as you do markets during the summer, you'll continue to gain people face to face, but your reach is getting farther. Exactly. So a lot of folks, you know, with markets, that's their goal. Their goal is to launch their business, to gain customer acquisition, and then be able to sustain that throughout the year. And you're doing that very successfully. So I think that, you know, moving forward, like you said, this winter was way better than last winter. Well, this coming winter is probably going to be even better.
For sure.
Yeah, and like you said, just having that consistent presence really helps with those customers. I mean, when they know where they can find you, what they need to do, just making everything as easy as possible for the customer is really the key. Because as long as you can streamline that ordering process and pickup process, do better than me and use the form, and don't just text Halle what you want.
I text her.
At all hours of the day. I'm like, I need chicken.
It's okay.
Oh, no.
So how do we connect with you? If I want to go on and not text you and use the order form, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go?
So I have a website, www.blackgoldbeefpork.com. I created the domain before I had chicken.
Or chicken. You feel left out.
And you can find my story on there, and then you can also see all my products. So shout out to Gino. He took pictures of all my products.
Yeah, they look great too.
And you can go on there. There's a little hyperlink at the top. It takes you to a Google form right now. That's my current ordering process, and it will list out prices and all of my products, and you punch in how many packs of each that you want, and I will reach out to you with a confirmation of what your order is and pickup or delivery option, which there are the options for you to pick in there, and then we just coordinate and go from there. Pay cash, card, Venmo.
Yeah, and we talked about and we're working on trying to figure out a way to streamline your website so that it makes it easier.
Understand how meat products are different because it's weight adjusted.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people out there with platforms that you can build your website on, but it costs, money. And so to be able to do weight adjustments, the form right now for you is probably the best way to go so that folks, otherwise, they'd have to be either reimbursed or pay extra and all that stuff. So probably right now for you, it would be like labeling the packages with and having specific weights on there. So
speaking of products, we have some here. We have the famous bacon. So this looks like some nice center cut bacon here. Yep. So that comes from the belly, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So this is going to be like the middle part of the belly. So that's a quality premium product there.
Side note, do you know you can do beef bacon off the brisket?
I did not know that.
It's not as good as pork bacon.
It's not. So would you say that that's like what's your most popular product?
So bacon is definitely my most popular. I get a little bit more bacon off a hog than steaks than I do off a cow. Yeah. I can't keep steaks in stock, but bacon is my highest selling product, I would say, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we have, so to keep with the pork, we have the sausage. So this is sage, but it also comes in 2 other flavors, right?
Yes, 3. So we have fresh sausage that has no flavoring, mild, which is the slightly salt and pepper, sage, and then the hot Italian, which is Bree's favorite.
My favorite, for sure. Yes, that's my favorite. And then, so the newest addition has been your chicken. So these are chicken tenders. So this is just the literal tenderloin off of the chicken. And so this is the good part, like the super, super good part. It doesn't have any really connective tissue or anything like that. And they're like the tiny ones. So those are good for the flat top.
Exactly.
They're chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can.
Chicken tenders.
Yeah, you could batter them, fry them, put them in the oven. You can do tons of things. Oh, and by the way, Halle also obliges my custom requests.
Yeah.
So I asked her if she could do some skin-on chicken breast for me. So she made that happen. So that's really nice too. So like anytime I text her and I'm like, hey, could you get this? And she's like, yeah, probably. And then she does. So that's also really nice too.
Yep.
And then
So now everyone's going to be texting her that.
I
What
know,
have you
right?
done?
I know. I forgot about the pork chops. So there's the pork chops. And these are the non-smoked, right? So these are the fresh.
Yep, just fresh, boneless. Those are the boneless.
Those look nice too. Those look nice and center cut.
Those ones are mine, I think.
Yeah, that's your
You're gonna
bundle.
take 'em home.
That's your bundle. And then last but not least, we have the ground beef.
Which the ground beef is a little heavier marbled than what you would normally find, just because we green feed. So whenever somebody asks me, like, what's your percentage in your beef? It's like 80-20, 85-15.
Okay, I would say that's probably right
Yeah.
based off of me, cooking it and seeing how much it has on it. But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good. Some people want a fattier meat, and that's fine too. So that's what's really nice. That was really nice when Sarah was at the market. They had their lean beef,
We did.
and so that's nice that we had two similar
Compliments, right.
vendors, but they were complimentary because they offered completely different products.
Yes.
Right.
So that's really been
That's what I tell people too, and like going back to like the community that we've created, like I support you, you support me, and you offered a similar but different product than me, and there was options for people to choose from. If you want a heavily marbled product, that's what I have, and if you want
The opposite.
a little leaner product, that's what Sarah offered. So
Yeah, that's what's really nice, again, about this market, because I've been to others too, and it's just different where you go. And it actually doesn't just help vendors out, like we complement each other, but like you said, there's stuff there for any shopper. I was at a market once, and the guy came up to me, and he goes, grass-fed, grain-fed, and I said, grass-fed, and he goes, grass-fed, gross, and walked away. And I was like, okay, that is completely okay. and that's fine. But there are people out there that want different products.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I've
definitely.
had some very similar experiences of people walking up and they're like, "Are you grass fed or grain fed?"
I
And
know.
I'm like, "Grain fed," and they're like, they just turn their head and walk away. I mean, I'm at a different market and the same people pass by me every single week and they look at my stand and I know that they only go to the grass fed, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It just personal preference, and that's why you grow what you do and I have what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yep.
All right. Well, I know you probably don't have a lot of free time on your hands, but what are you currently reading? Are you reading anything right now?
Oh gosh, I don't read.
You don't read? What about audiobooks?
No.
No
If
audiobooks?
anything, it's the From Scratch Co-op podcast. Other than that, like,
So what do you entertain yourself with then?
well, I drive to Columbus every day, so I talk on the phone a lot.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, I can't tell you the last time that I watched TV. I just watched the series Secret Lives of Mormon Wives drama, but that's really about it. Like Landman or Yellowstone, that's my esque. So
Yeah, that is mine too.
Yeah.
I also love 1923. Did you
Yes.
watch that one with Alexandra? She's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry now.
Paw Patrol. That's the life I'm living right now, guys.
Yeah.
Not a lot of drama. Well, maybe there is drama in Paw Patrol. Is there a lot of drama in Paw
Oh,
Patrol?
yes, there are bad guys. Yes.
no.
Yes, there are bad guys.
Yeah, but other than that, I talk on the phone a lot, and I'm outside a lot, and I work a lot. So
Fair. I'm really guilty of turning on something while I'm doing computer work and like half watching, half doing computer work. And
I do love
have to
music
multitask.
though.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
listening to music, country music, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
But I enjoy going to concerts. So my newest favorite is I'm a Zach Top lover.
oh, yeah.
So-
I love his voice. It sounds
I don't know who
like
that is, but
Come
I believe you.
he has like an old
Miss
country.
Rachel,
Yeah.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
It's the life I'm living. Wheels on the Bus.
Yeah. I will say on my way home today, this is not a new song, but it's one of my favorite songs. Listen to Cody Johnson, Grandpas Never Die.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
It resonates, like, just the life that I grew up in. I like some meaningful music. So
Yeah,
that's
you
why
like the emotional.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why the Yellowstone and stuff gets
Yes.
you too, because I really like those because of the music. Like, they have such good instrumental music.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes put that on literally just to listen to the music
Yeah.
that goes on. And
Yeah.
there's a new one now, the Madison. Have you watched it yet?
I'm not.
And then there's a new one with Casey where he's a marshal.
I did see a clip of that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've watched those. They're both pretty good. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to,
Yeah, I'll
because
have
those
to
are
watch
both
those.
Taylor Sheridan. So you're gonna have to
Okay.
catch up
Yeah, I'll
on
have
those
to watch
too.
Or Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol's good too. Tractor Ted, you love Tractor Ted. You would.
Yeah, what was around whenever I was a kid, like farming? I don't think there was a.
It really wasn't. I don't
Yeah.
remember any.
Max
I
and
don't think so
Ruby.
Ruby and Max.
Were you a Hannah Montana fan?
No.
My sister was. Were you? They're getting ready for the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana. They're having like a
Very old, Brie.
yeah. I
Makes you only 2.
Hannah Montana was. Yes, I'm
oh
22.
wait, yeah. I forgot that I could be your mom. If
I cannot believe you asked her.
That's funny. Hannah Montana was around, but I just
my
am
sister's 28 and she watched Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she's not that
Hannah
much.
Montana was around. I just don't know that I'm a Hannah Montana lover watcher.
Yeah, I'm not going to rewatch it on Netflix.
Are you though?
I'm not. I said I wasn't. Maybe. You get the best of both.
I know that song.
Okay, now that we're laughing, funny business bloopers. Has anything happened? I shared last time about my liver situation. Did you hear about
Oh,
that?
yes.
Yeah. I had another one. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go first.
There's 2 sheets in the area. One is in New Concord and one is in Cambridge.
Oh, no.
I went to New Concord and he went to Cambridge.
Oh dear.
That's my business blooper for the week.
Oh, business blooper. One really embarrassing one. I don't know if it's funny, but
It'll be funny to us.
yeah,
It
it'll be
wasn't
funny
funny
to
to
us.
you.
I had a customer at a market and I offered cash discount. So if you pay card, it's an upcharge. Well, at the time, I did not have my Square device that did the calculations for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing it all by hand, and I punched into my scale, like, what the weight was, and he saw the price. Well, I didn't deduct the cash discount whenever I told him my mistake. And he walked away and was like, I'm never buying from you ever again. And I'm like, it was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
And then I got the
isn't
stuff,
funny.
and now he's one of my greatest customers.
Aw,
He,
see.
That's
he's
good.
this old guy, and he's so sweet, and he buys from me every week.
Oh, that's
And
great.
that's a good, like, lighthearted story.
That is.
It was something really bad that turned into something really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And generally, I feel like most people are pretty understanding. Things have happened to me like that too, where I've messed up somebody's. Last 2 weeks ago, I put the complete wrong name on an order, and then it was a whole thing. So that stuff definitely happens. And
Yeah.
sometimes those people never come back, and sometimes they stick around forever. They give you some grace,
Yes.
and they're able to keep
Yeah.
coming on as customers. So that's nice. But it definitely can go the opposite way, where they
Yes, for
you never
sure.
see them again.
That time worked out in my favor, and he's an awesome guy. But it was that day I was upset about the situation, but it turned into something good.
Yeah, that's
So,
good. That's good.
Another
right.
question. Really random. I actually have 2 random questions this week.
The other one's not on the thing. I'm
No,
nervous
it's not.
now.
It's a surprise.
I'm nervous.
I thought of it on the way here because I'm hungry.
I ate before
Not
I
this
came.
one. This one is not the question I thought of when I was hungry. Least favorite ranch chore.
Well, growing up, we have like feed bunks in the feed lot, and the cattle manure gets pushed up under the feed bunks,
Nice.
and Dad would obviously clean out the whole barn with the skid steer. Well, me and my sister, he would always be like, grab the pitchfork, girls, get under, and we would have to pitchfork the manure out from underneath the feed bunk, and that was the worst.
Mine is mucking stalls as well. When
Yeah.
we like are quarantining calves for one reason or another, or sometimes, well, definitely halter breaking, but that's my least favorite. It's so heavy, and it's just my least favorite.
Yeah.
I want to just publicly say that, so Doug knew that it's my least favorite.
You think it's a secret?
I actually don't really have to do it that much either, though. We have a skid steer, and we have kids now, so, but yeah, that's probably my least favorite. You don't have a ranch, but you have a garden, you have a home, you have land.
I
What's your
think like
least favorite?
anything to do with like watering, like filling up buckets or like watering the flowers or whatever, that's not fun for me. I'm just like, let's get it over with.
You have kids.
I do have kids now, and they're quite functional. So
This is also something that people might not know about me. Me and my fiance, we're getting married in October.
oh yes, that's right.
We raise show sheep. So
You don't eat them, though. No. But you can.
I mean, we can, yes, but we raise them to sell to 4-Hers, just like how I showed pigs and cattle growing up.
Sure.
So we do that, and watering. We don't have automatic waters, and we have automatic water for the cows and the pigs. But that's one thing I'm telling Chris all the time. I'm like, we are getting automatic waters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Breaking ice this winter when it was cold. That was
Yeah.
probably no fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So-
not.
Watering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my one that's not on the sheet that you don't know about. Your guilty pleasure snack food.
Oh, cherry Coke Zero.
That's not a snack food.
How's that not a snack food?
That's a
okay,
drink.
extra toasty Cheez-Its then.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, I'm a sweet person. Like today at work, I went and grabbed a couple things to snack on. I didn't really eat lunch, and I grabbed a thing of oatmeal raisin cookies, which I just,
You know somebody who can help you out with that.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Why did you admit that publicly?
So anything, I don't know. There's like one go-to thing, but like cookies or stuff like that.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I'm a salty honey mustard onion pretzel bites. I could eat
Girl,
No,
that's a strong flavor.
I love them. I need some of our sourdough girls to figure out how to make them
Oh,
for
yeah.
me, because I tried. Well, I didn't try making the pretzel part of it. I just had regular pretzels because I'm not, able to do things like that. And I'm obviously also not able to make the seasoning for it. Amber.
Yeah,
Bet Amber can make me some seasoning.
I bet
Collaboration.
And
Let's go.
I bet somebody can make some sourdough pretzel bites.
So too. I bet so too. And
But those are my favorite. And yes, I know it's a strong flavor, and all 3 of my children love them.
Really?
I mean,
Oh my
we go to
gosh.
Aldi, and they're not always there, but when they are there at Aldi, we get like 3 or 4 bags. I will eat a whole bag in a sitting. It is terrible, and then I will be so sick all day. So while I was driving here, I was hungry, and that's what I wanted. So I thought I wanted to share that with you.
You had those on the brain.
I do. Yes, I do.
All right, guys. Was there anything else that we need to touch base on, or anything else we want to follow up on?
Do we want to mention our workshop?
Oh, yes, definitely. I don't know if Alyssa is going to be up for the sourdough workshop because she just had surgery.
Oh, no.
I have to
Okay.
confirm with her on
Okay.
that, but we do have the other workshop on April 8th.
Yep.
Yep, and that's
And you're
been-
signed up for that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so April 8th, we're going to be doing a workshop at the Guernsey County Library, the Crossroads Library,
Right.
and it's going to be a kombucha and tea blending workshop. And my husband, Tim, who has brewed kombucha on and off.
Timothy Pie.
Timothy. He is going to be leading that. He's homebrewed kombucha on and off for probably about 12 years now.
Wow.
And we just thought it would be fun to offer that. And then Amber from May and J is going to come with her mocktail bar.
That's fun.
And she's working on, I gave her some plain kombucha to take home and flavor. And she's going to
Oh, cool.
create us like a special kombucha flavor for the workshop. And then teach you guys how to recreate that at home if you want. And then everybody's going to go home with a little jar, a little glass jar with their own little SCOBY. So the SCOBY is like the...
So that's what you have to
That's like the
to do
starter.
this? Oh,
It's like the starter,
okay.
yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
it's the symbiotic something organism, and that's what ferments the tea. And so
Okay.
that guy stays in there all the time.
Oh,
And,
gotcha.
yeah,
So you need to come to the workshop.
need to
if
come to the
wanna
workshop.
Get started because you need one of those.
Yeah,
Scoobies.
SCOBY.
Scooby.
And
You know
you'll-
I would get it wrong.
You'll take that home and you'll be all set. So
That's cool.
yeah, so just like with the sourdough starter, it's a nice little, because otherwise you have to like somehow figure out how to get your tea to grow this. And I'm not really sure how that, I'm not I'm not the home brewing master.
Yeah,
so.
and most people who want to venture into things like that want the starter kit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
like
they don't
will,
want-
they'll
yeah.
be more successful and they will be more willing to start if they get started by someone else.
I think so too. Yeah, and then we'll have a workshop in May with Jamie of Dancing Woods. We'll have details on that at a later date.
And then June.
Almost time for
Market.
the market.
I know. 3
3
Yesterday
months.
was like warm enough weather
I
for
know, it
market
was
season. Today, not so much.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful the season hasn't started yet. We'd be cold today.
Yeah, we have about 3 months to go, and in the meantime, we'll be hosting our new vendor meeting as well for all new vendors that are going to be onboarding with us this year. That way, we can kind of go over everything with them.
Yep, we do.
And
We have a
then-
handful of new vendors.
Yep, and then we'll also have our mandatory meeting in June where we'll go over everything with everybody, and
Yep.
then it'll be time for market season.
So fun.
Yeah, only a few more weeks left.
I know.
All right.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
In a couple weeks, we're going to have Jessica Dick from the Bloomfield Bee Company.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany Baker from Noco Loco Homestead Co. will be doing her 10-minute promo sale.
Yeah.
And then Jessica will also be doing a promo sale. So
Cool.
we're going to have those too. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.